the right hand now. Yes, sir.
Silvester grew up in the 1960s in East Oakland. His mother, Bertha Lee, was a wool presser making $2 an hour, and his father, Cecil P., was a naval supplier. Together, they barely made $6,000 a year. They were lucky. At least they had jobs. Many in the neighborhood did not. They had both grown up in the South in extremely poor communities, and by the time they were adults, they were taking care of Silvester, his brother Cecil, and sister Christine, a niece and a nephew. During Silvester's formative years, he attended Dag Hammarskjöld Elementary, James Madison Junior High School, and Castlemont High School. His affinity for education continued. After graduating high school, Silvester went on to receive his bachelor and master's degree from San Francisco State University. While schooling was paramount to his development, so was his spiritual palate. On Sundays, Silvester, also fondly called Sil, Bet, or Tiny Bester by his family and friends, could be found at his birth church, St. James Holiness Temple. Throughout his spiritual journey, Sil was privileged to engage with several houses of worship, including Foothill Baptist Church, Church of the Good Shepherd, and his eternal appointment and love since 1991, the noted Palma Sia Baptist Church, where he still serves as minister of music. How did Mr. Gospel get introduced to that good news music, you ask? He was first introduced to gospel music through a woman named Helen Stevens at the age of 8 when his mother took him to a church event. He recalls seeing a woman with a treetop wig with a huge choir called the Voices of Christ. She's a famous woman who passed away many years ago. The story goes, when he saw her with this choir, he begged his mother to let him take music lessons with her. But his mother said she probably doesn't have the time for you. But that's when his interest was piqued. As a child, because he grew up in a home with complications, there was something about the music that was very comforting to Silvester. From that point forward, he could not get this vision of a gospel choir out of his head. He was 8 years old and mesmerized by the Voices of Christ. Growing up in an urban Pentecostal church environment didn't derail Silvester from taking up an interest in Beethoven and Mozart. Actually, he was drawn to conservatism and structure. His authentic love for music propelled him to develop a gospel piano curriculum, which was the only collegiate academic course of its type in the state of California. Mr. Henderson, Emeritus Professor, Lecturer of African American Studies and Music from the University of California, Berkeley found himself revisiting his 8-year-old passion by serving as the original director of the internationally acclaimed Young Inspiration Gospel Choir from 1985 to 2005. This was the beginning of his recording career. This propelled him into recordings with 3 albums under his belt. First and second Gospel Experience concert sold over 200,000 units, CD and cassettes. UC Berkeley Young Inspiration Gospel Choir, 1992 and 1998. listed in the Smithsonian Institute as the finest university gospel choir in the nation. Palmacia Baptist, One Body in Christ, sold over 100,000 copies. And in 1994, Third Baptist, Gospel Chimes of SF. By this time, Seal was primed and ready to move into his next endeavor by producing grand-scale community concerts where he performed with celebrity classical opera artists, gospel jazz, and Broadway stars, and rhythm and blues great luminaries such as Richard Smallwood, Reverend Darrell Coley, the late Walter Hawkins, and the Love Center Choir, Kurt Carr, Quincy Fielding, Ron Connolly Sr., V. Michael McKay, the late Helen Stevens and the Lighthouse Singers of Marin, California, Micah Stampley, John Gibson, the artist who paired with Stevie Wonder for the remake of Have a Talk with God, Billy Porter, New York Broadway star and soundtrack artist for Bette Midler's First Wives Club, James Iglehart, New York Broadway star from Aladdin, Vesta, Howard Hewitt, Kenny Lattimore, Gerald Albright, LaToya London, Chris Walker, Kathy Taylor Brown, Kevin LeVar, Anita Wilson, and most recently, Keisha Renee. His extraordinary musical acumen opened many doors for him to excel professionally, serving as the Emeritus President of the Academic Senate for California Community Colleges ASCCC Foundation Corporation. He was also the chair of the ASCCC Faculty Development Leadership Committee and the Equity and Diversity Committee. Additionally, Henderson is a full-time tenure professor of choral vocal activities and keyboard studies and chair of the music department for Las Madonnas College, located in Pittsburgh, California, 1994 to current. Professor Henderson directs the college chorus, chamber chorale, and the gospel choir. Professor Silvester Henderson also serves as an associate professor for College of Alameda, Department of Music, 2015 to current. Amidst Seal's professional pilgrimage, he married Cecile Therese Dupree in 1982, and the union produced 3 daughters, Carlina, Celise, and Sade Henderson. Named as the most influential African American educator by the Intel Corporation and the City Flight News magazine, Professor Henderson has been presented with a massive number of awards, resolutions, certificates, and proclamations. Among them, NAACP Educational Integrity Award, 2004. University of California, Berkeley, Educational Commendation for 20 years of service, 2005. Honored for his contributions to sacred choral music by the Academy of Gospel Music Awards, 2006. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Award, 2012. Professor of the Year Award, 2012 to 2013. Quarter finalist for Grammy Association Music Educator Award, 2014. The Contra Costa County Arts Commission bestowed the 2014 Arts Recognition Award in honor of his dedication to the arts. This award acknowledged Professor Henderson's evolving legacy in support of music, especially gospel music, and promoting education through the arts. Highlights include his impact in the greater LMC community through LMC's gospel choir and annual music festival held at the college. 3 congressional honors for advances in bringing academic recognition to the gospel song as an African American art form. Some of his most recent awards is the recipient of the Albert Nelson 2019 Marquise Who's Who Lifetime Achievement Award and the A to Mend Educational Leadership Award 2020. Along with this profusion of well-deserved honors, Silvester has been extremely instrumental in the lives of many.
Hey Pops, for everybody that's watching, my name is John DeCure. I'm from the city of Pasadena, California. I first met Dr. Henderson at the University of California at Berkeley. I was a part of the Young Inspirational Gospel Choir, and I played for Silvester Henderson for probably about over 14 years of my life, probably more than that. Pops changed my life. If it wasn't for him, I would not have had a relationship with my biological father, with my dad. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have work ethic. If it wasn't for him, half the things that I've accomplished, whatever success I've accomplished, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for him. He has taught me and continues to teach me about finances, about leadership, just about being a well-rounded, what it means to be a well-rounded man that knows how to take care of himself. And that, Pops, is invaluable. He used the music as a way, not just to teach us the music, but to teach us all life. And for that, I am eternally grateful. And I owe you so much. And any accomplishment I have, I am the fruit of all your labor. We all of Silvester's kids, we are the fruit of your labor. We love you so much, man. And I call them Pops. Love you, Pops. Peace.
I first met Silvester Henderson, or as many of us like to call him, Doc, back in 2003. I subbed at the Great Palmacia Baptist Church in Hayward, California, and from that point on began a journey of Silvester being a huge influence in my life as a mentor, with the teaching, being an adult, being a professional. And I'm so grateful for that time, and that more importantly, he's one of my closest friends in life. I can call upon him anytime for advice. Every now and then I can give him some advice. Even if he wants to listen to it or not, I just appreciate him being so invested in the things that I wanted to achieve for myself. That's really something that I'd never take for granted, and I'm just so grateful for. So love you, Doc, and glad that you're being appreciated as you should be for all the wonderful things you've done for people like myself and the greater education community here in the Bay Area. And all right, peace.
Mr. Henderson, this is a surprise that this is happening, but it's always deserved. You have impacted a lot of people, their lives, not just musically, but to think about the communities that you've involved yourself with. And I wanted to say I have always patterned myself after you. I remember meeting you when I was 12. We had just moved here from New York, and I remember that you gave me an assignment to learn Begin the Begin. You realized I was using my ear. You were my classical teacher for a couple of years, and you sent me home from a lesson. I haven't forgotten that, but it taught me a valuable lesson of preparation. And then, we reconnected in my mid-20s, and I was able to learn more from you, specifically about the business of the church and the Baptist church, specifically because I was from the Kojic church. And I learned a lot. I've applied it to my life even to this day. I want to say, I want to say thank you, because you will always mean everything to me, even though I have not been a great communicator over the past few years. Don't think that I haven't forgot about you, and I love you very much. I was so happy to hear they were doing something for you, so this is well deserved. Again, my friend, I love you. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Peace and love.
Doc, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you, how much I love you. I want to thank you for being in my life, giving me an opportunity, taking a chance on someone like me, helping me along my way. You taught me to be a person of dignity, a person of word, with God at the center. And I just want to tell you how grateful I am, because all these values I will pass on to my children and also carry with me the rest of my life. I use it everywhere I go, and I'll never forget my experience at Palmacia. I will never forget my experience at Los Medanos College and the relationships that I built there. They've carried me, they've helped me through in many, numerous occasions, because God was always at the center. And I'm grateful to you as a friend, as a mentor, and thank you so much. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Dr. Silvester Henderson, a man who's influential on so many aspects of my life. I truly thank God for him.
Professor Henderson, man, I don't even know where to start. I call you Uncle Sly because we got that special bond. I've been knowing you my whole life, man. You grew up on the same street as my dad. Y'all went to grade school all the way through high school together, and later on in life, I grew up on that street, and I remember you as a kid. I remember both your parents. Well over 20 years ago, I graduated high school and I joined the UC Berkeley Gospel Choir just to be under you. Then I joined the Los Medanos Gospel Choir just to be under you. Then I got private vocal lessons just to be under you. And you were always so hard on me, and all the students would tell me, man, he's only hard on you because he sees your potential, he loves you, and he knows what you got. And to this day, man, I love and appreciate you for that, man. You know, I often say God gave me the gift to sing, but you taught me how, and nobody can take that from me, man. We've done so many concerts together, we've traveled together, and man, I love you, man. I'm so glad to give you these roses while you can yet smell them, because you deserve that and much more. And I will talk to you soon. You call me, I'm picking up the phone because I got you, all right? Love you, man. Talk to you soon.
Hi, this is Calvin Brown. I'd like to share some words about my good friend and brother, the Professor Silvester Henderson. I was informally introduced to Silvester at Palmacia at an event that I went to go play for, and our life got turned around. Silvester was upset at me that I got to the service after it started. However, later, I was formally introduced to Silvester and started working with him on a consistent basis starting in 1990. And that was through Idella Watts, who was a student at Cal Berkeley and was in Silvester's Gospel Inspirational Choir there at Berkeley. Since working with Silvester, I've learned that he is a man of integrity, an awesome family man who loved his family to death. He is an awesome businessman, top-notch, that I've never had any issues with the entire time that I've worked with him. And obviously you cannot come to his rehearsals or events late, or else you will get pointed out. But he is impacted so many lives through his teaching, guidance, and mentorship. And I just want to wish you all that God has to offer to you, the best. And I have much love for you, my brother.
My name is Pastor Shauna Maxwell, and I was honored to work closely on the music staff at the Palmacia Baptist Church with Professor Henderson. Professor, you've taught me so many lifelong lessons, musically, spiritually, and even financially. Because of your continued encouragement, I was able to obtain my associate's degree in worship ministries, and I'm currently working on my bachelor's in ministerial leadership. It was because of the constant push that assisted me to grow to be the woman I am today. Professor, the one thing that I always remember, you say, Shauna, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. But if you're uncomfortable, that means that you're growing. Professor, thank you. Thank you for all that you've done. God bless you, and we honor you.
The Professor Silvester Henderson. All glory to the Lord Jesus Christ for such a wonderful, talented, inspirational, knowledgeable, intelligent, overall just wonderful human being. I first met Professor Henderson when I was in high school. Shout out to Skyline High School, the Titans. We were invited to Los Medanos along with several other schools for their music department. And the first time I saw Professor Henderson, he came in with the suit. He had the glasses with the piano at the bottom in the corner. I was like, yo, who is this dude? He had Kevin Stansel on bass, Omar Maxwell on drums. And then he could play like really great. And the choir sung with such precision and excellence. and he talked about, the training in the music department, and I was like, yo, this is it for me. So I attended Los Padanos and developed a wonderful relationship with Professor Henderson. He invited me to several events that he was, having there, and it was wonderful. He's always been a blessing and kind to me and a mentor to me for now over 20 years. So thank God for Professor Henderson.
Sil continues to embrace his love for music through his company called Professor for Life Incorporated, where he interviews collegiate academics from all over the world. He also serves as a radio host and personality for Spirit Alive Network. Owner, CEO, Bishop Shirlene Cook. He is over Professors with Voices. Interview on Fridays at 6 p.m. Professor Silvester Carl Henderson is a musical giant who has left his fingerprint into the hearts of many. That's why we salute the man, the legend, Mr. Gospel.